Where's the best place to sell your sports cards and memorabilia? PWCC Weekly auctions, in my opinion, and based on my experience with thousands sample size, PWCC Weekly auctions. And, you know, if you've got a big dog, the PWCC Premier Auction, this is the platform to sell your cards if you value your time and you want to maximize your return. Watch today's video. I'll give you a couple of examples and we'll talk through a little bit about the process, and I'll show you actual data and actual results kind of substantiating why I send thousands and thousands of cards to PWCC Marketplace. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC Marketplace. Coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. Today's video is just going to be another PWCC promotional video about why I use the PWCC Marketplace to sell my sports cards. When I'm ready to get out of certain cards for whatever reason and get into new cards that I really have my eye on, like pushing out of non-Jordans, heavier into Jordans, things like that, I always try Instagram first, okay? I will be very transparent with you. I reach out to individuals by text. I try to kind of broker private deals to completely cut out auction houses, including PWCC, right? eBay, forget paying all those fees. Always try to do it yourself. It makes no sense not to, especially if you have a pretty large network of people in the hobby. But if that doesn't work, I don't hesitate. I send it to PWCC or I just move it over from my vault. So today's video is just going to show you some of the I don't want to say typical, because these are extraordinary results in max value type situations. I can't show you all of them. I've sold thousands of cards on PWCC Weekly, and I've sold a few even on the PWCC Premier. Again, I don't sell big high-end cards very often, but when I do, the PWCC Premier is a great platform for that as well. Remember, those are cards that are probably valued at $15,000 or more. So I'm going to show you just some examples of some cards that I sold on PWCC Weekly that either did exceptionally well or broke records. Again, I can't show you every single card. Are there cards that I've sold that have sold for slightly under eBay comps? Probably. I don't know. But I can't go through here and show you thousands of cards, but I've pulled some of the cards that I think you guys will find interesting. So the first thing I'll show you is, again, this is the sort of the seller interface. So you'll see up there, I've gone into my profile and I've clicked My Selling. It's going to show you the history of every card you have ever sold on PWCC. So if you're somebody who actually pays their taxes, right? And you may not like it, but if you do pay your income taxes, or at least you file a tax return, right, and do things the right way, you've always got a record of what you sold and what you netted on here. Okay, so the way that you can kind of sort this is, what you sold on the weekly, what you sold on the Premier, what you sold on the fixed price marketplace. Again, right now, I'll be honest with you, I am a big proponent of PWCC. The fixed price marketplace is sort of a wasteland right now. It's a bunch of cards that were drastically overpriced back in COVID. They're still sitting there. You can't even make offers because it doesn't hit the minimum number. Right now, the fixed marketplace needs some attention and some tweaking. I've told my people over there, y'all got to do something. It is stagnating and people are just ignoring it. If I ignore it, then I know other people out there are ignoring it as well. Every once in a while, you'll find a diamond in the rough, but not very often, I'll be quite honest with you. The weekly Sunday auction is kind of my go-to, right? Because usually I'm selling cards that are worth less than $15,000. So here's the cards that I've got for sale right now. They are in weekly number, whatever this is. Where's the number? I think it's weekly number 125, I think, something like that, if I had to guess, something like that. And then you can see up here under events, I can sort it. And first of all, you can sort it by highest price, lowest price, best value, recently added, earliest year, latest year. You can sort it however you want. You can sort it by sport over here. You can sort it by what is waiting to be scheduled. What is here, and I'll just show you, waiting to be scheduled. Look, I got a bunch of Jordan cards that are waiting to be scheduled, meaning they're about to be put into a future PWCC Weekly auction, but they're not in there yet. Then you can sort it by sold. These are only cards that have already sold, and it's all events, right? And it's sorted, by highest price right now. So it's showing you on the weekly, the highest card I've ever sold on the weekly. What a coincidence. It's a bunch of 86 Fleer cards, including a BGS 9.5, which honestly I did not do well on because I did not time that very well. That was on me, not on PWCC. But if you just kind of leave it at all, and then we go back to prior events, you can just pull up whatever auction. This was auction 124, so this was a couple of weeks ago, I think. I sold 9 cards for $565. It shows you your net up here, how much you net. Remember, you're going to get not only the 100% of the hammer price, you're also going to get a percentage of the 20% buyer's premium, depending on how much the card sold for. The more the card sells for, the higher your cut of the 20% is going to be. So this is one that ended on June 2nd. Oh, this is actually the last one. So I just had a bunch of little cards in here, and that's what they sold for, and that's what I netted. Okay, enough about that. Let's just talk about some of the cards. Boom. Let's start here. So, does it tell me which auction this sold for? I don't know. We're going to go back and see it. But this is just a typical example. This is a card. It was in the cross-country collection. I looked at it. It looked like it was in great condition. Sent it to PSA. Came back a PSA 10. I'm like, oh, shit. I don't know. There can't be too many of these cards. I don't care about baseball cards. You guys know I don't collect baseball cards. I know people out there that do, and more power to you. So I listed this on the PWCC Weekly. I took it. I shipped it. I put it up there. I created a submission form like you've seen me show you how to do on this channel. And this PSA 10 went to auction maybe a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know, something like that. Sold for $630, okay? That is the final price with the buyer's premium included. That is what you will see in Card Ladder. Here's the most recent sold of this card. Just stay with me here, okay? Let's see, there is mine right there. So I sold it on March 10th, 2024. There is my card right there, same exact card that I just showed you, cert number 6704, cert number 6704. So mine sold for $630 in March. Look at the sales since then on eBay, 200, what? On REA, 240. On PWCC Weekly, 252. So maybe my timing was just exceptional. On eBay, from 4 Sharp Corners, one of the biggest consigners in the world, 240. From DC Sportscards, 153. From DC Sportscards on eBay, again, 137. From DC Sports on eBay, 152. 630 to me seems like a pretty good result. It's a pretty big outlier. I don't know where that is on the highest ever. No, that's a proof card. Somebody bought one for $1,200 during apeshit crazy bubble time. So mine is the 4th highest price ever paid for that particular random Barons card, whatever thing. I guess we should have looked at what the pop was. Hang on. Is a pop on there? Let's see what the pop. It is a pretty rare card. It probably should be, that's 312. There's a lot of those. I don't know. That seems like I just stole money. To be honest with you, that just feels really good. You get a PSA 10, you make a bunch of money. But that was an outstanding, extraordinary result. Another one, another PSA 10, right? And I'm not just going to talk about PSA 10s. We're going to talk you through this. 95 Hoops Number Crunchers. You guys are familiar with this. It's a card in the MJ hierarchy. It's a Number Crunchers, not a rare card. PSA 10. It gets really tough because of these black corners, black edges. Mine sold for $1,050. Here we go. Let's look it up again. This is a date sold. This is my sale right here. Boom. Same exact card. Cert number 717. Cert number 717. So you know it's mine. Here it is. Sold for $1,050. The sales before this, 805, 866. Look at this, PWCC Weekly, 1260, right? So PWCC, 1,000 plus, PWCC, 1,200 plus, eBay, 866, eBay, 805, eBay, 910, and then you got to go back because guess what, guys? There just ain't very many of these freaking cards. There's not that many. It's pop 55. Like I told you, not a rare card. It's been graded over 1,000 times by PSA and BGS combined. Only 55 of them. So rare card. The two best results are both with PWCC Weekly. So that's example number 2. Example number 3, let's get out of PSA 10s, right? Because you may be looking at your screen and saying, Cajun, you're looking at Jordan PSA 10s. Well, of course they're going to set records. Of course they're going to sell for a lot of money, albeit they outsold the eBay prices on the last one that I just showed you. So let's look at a PSA 8. This is a Thrill Seekers PSA 8. Again, important Jordan card. Great Jordan card. Tier 3 probably, I'm guessing, Jordan card. I can't remember. I don't even know my own hierarchy. But, got that lenticular surface. Presents really well. The back of the card is filthy awesome because it's got Jordan in his Concords with the goatee, rocking the goatee. 2640. $2,640 for this Thrill Seekers PSA 8. This is another cross-country collection card. Here we go. I've got a graph for you on this one. Let's go find the 2,640 sale. Here it is. It's at the very top of the chart. Over the last year, it is the highest selling Thrill Seekers PSA 8 of any platform. If you want to know what other platforms were used, Golden 2013, that's $600 less. eBay 2,444, eBay 2,469. Here's Me 2,640. Another PWCC Weekly 2,340, eBay 2,200, eBay 2,300 Probstein, eBay 2,000. So you can see the trend here. Two of the highest sales were both on PWCC Weekly. If we zoom out to 2 years, it's going to be the second highest sale price out of the last 18 sales, right? And we know that cards were hotter in 2022 than they are right now. They just were, even Jordan stuff, especially Jordan non-PSA 10s. So the second highest out of the last 18 sales, I'm absolutely thrilled with that. But let me show you, here's the cool thing about it. So it sold for $2,640. The real question is not what to sell for, it's like, what do I get? What do I get? Well, here's what I get, $2,420, okay? Let's go back to Card Ladder. I netted $2,420 from this sale on March 31st. Look at the average sale price in Card Ladder. Average sale price, $2,219. So not only did it sell for $400 more than the average sale price of a Thrill Seekers PSA 8, I put $200 more in my pocket than the gross sales price, right? So I netted more, $200 more on my sale than cards sell for on average on eBay. That's meaningful. That matters. And again, I am only picking and choosing certain great examples, right? So I do understand that. But let's do another non-PSA 10, and this just happened, okay? This is an Arena Stars that I got back in the cross-country collection, and it was an exceptional copy. Came back to PSA 9. Sold it for $930, the 98 finest Arena Stars. By the way, this and Hardwood Honors, if you haven't seen these cards in hand, they're very refractor-like. I guess they're called foil. They're very refractor-like. They're very susceptible to surface damage. PSA 9 is pretty damn good. Great. Okay, I've got it pulled up. What did mine sell for? $930. Here we go. We got it pulled up. Here is the all-time chart. What do you think is at the top of the all-time chart? The highest price ever paid for an Arena Stars PSA 9. My copy, and I just sold it about 9 days ago, 11 days ago on PWCC Weekly. Here's the card. That's not my card, but here's the card. My card, CERT 1167. Here is the sale at the very top, $930. The last sale was mine, $930. Let's just click it to make sure it's mine. There it is. Same card, guys. Same exact card. Look, can't tell the difference. I'm flipping back and forth. That's pretty impressive to me. You're talking about 25 sales. You're talking about a Pop 44 PSA 9 Arena Stars without coding, and I just broke the all-time record. And I didn't just break it. I broke it by like 45%. I mean, it sold for almost, what, $200 more? No, not that much. $200 more than the previous highest sale ever of, what is that, 706. So from 706 all the way to 930, that's a pretty noticeable difference. So once again, the highest sale in history of a Arena Stars PSA 9 was $706. Let me show you what I netted. Oh God, where'd it go? $853. So I netted $150 more than the highest gross sale price in history of an Arena Stars. That's another example. And if you think it's only for weekly stuff, it's not. I'll show you. Here's how much I trust PWCC. Again, I've said this a million times. I don't talk about very many things on this channel unless in fact, I don't talk about anything on this channel unless I love it, I have experience with it, I tell you the truth about it. Card Ladder, love it. PWCC, love it. PSA, I very much like it and play the game. Let's put it that way. It's not perfect, but PSA is the place to send your sports cards right now. I will tell you that. There's tons of pros and cons. Customer service at PSA is phenomenal. My point is, I don't talk about shit just to get paid. I talk about the stuff that I truly care about. I talk about Card Ladder and PSA all the time, and obviously I use them all the time. They don't pay me anything, right? I probably need to fix that, but they don't pay me anything. Maybe they don't think people in Louisiana have any influence. We'll see. I shouldn't use the word influence. I don't like that word. Here is an example of how much I trust PWCC Weekly. When I decided it was time, and I missed the peak. Okay, I missed the peak really bad on the 1986 Fleer set. I've told you stories of me turning down a monster number for the entire set. I could have bought the set back 3 times. Anyway, I sold this amazing, at the time, Pop 14. I think now it's Pop 16. This is the linchpin, the 1986 Fleer sticker, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think there are 16 of these. We're about to look. This is mine. Well, this was mine, right? I picked this card up, and I have a great story behind that. I had to buy an entire Fleer sticker set, PSA 10, to get the card, even though I already had the other, 10 stickers. But I got the sticker. I held it for 2 years. I got to tell everybody I completed the set. It's the biggest accomplishment, probably by far, not even close. It's by far my biggest accomplishment in the hobby. It is my crowning achievement in the hobby. It's the best thing I've ever done as a personal collector, right? Sold it for $240,000. That is $250,000. And I'm not sitting here to brag about that. And here's the other deal. I put every single penny right back into Jordan cards. That was the decision I made. Is like, why do I have these other 141 cards from this 1986 Fleer set when Jordan's really what I care about? So I kept the 2 Jordan PSA 10s, the sticker and the base. I sold everything else, right? And my intention of doing that was I like my money and I enjoy collecting Michael Jordan more than collecting Johnny Moore and Bill Laimbeer and, David Greenwood. And so I just poured all this $250,000 right back into Jordan stuff. That's how my Jordan collection grew, measurably in the first place. Here's your card. I'm sorry, I was off one. It's Pop 15, apparently. Here is the all-time sales history of this card. There's 15 of them. It's sold 18 times, right? Mine is right here. It's right below the highest ever sold. And apparently I kind of either my copy wasn't quite as good as his, and it sold for $266, so I did leave a little bit of meat on the bone. But hell, looking at this graph and seeing where it sold at $240, man, I'll take it. I'll take it. And guess where? Let's see, the last one, 132. Yeah, if we go back, 266. So Golden and PWCC, those sold in quick succession. Mine sold on the 19th. Somebody probably had, missed out buyer's remorse and picked up the next one on Golden for 266. So the 2 highest sales in history were in very close succession in the year 2022. And again, let's be very clear on this graph. The year 2022 is a relevant measurable, right? That is a part of the criteria that really matters. No one today on PWCC or anywhere else is going to sell it for $240,000, but that's just to give you an idea of how much I trust the PWCC weekly auction for all my cards. If I had to guess, let me go back. We'll do some quick clicking here. I gotta believe, I don't want to click through all these different auctions, but you can see, if you see an auction number, that means I had cards in that auction. 6, 8, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23, 26, 31, 32. This is not just a fly-by-night deal. I would not keep selling my cards in the PWCC weekly auction if they were not performing as well or better than eBay, Golden, My Slabs, Instagram, blah, 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 blah. I just wouldn't do it. I would only do it if it made me the most money and saved me the most time. The one thing I haven't mentioned, and it goes without saying, I can't stress enough how how much time you can conserve and retain by letting someone out. And this goes for Golden or, a consignor or whatever. I know a lot of you guys out there think you're getting the best bang for your buck by listing your own stuff on eBay. You're probably not. I'll be quite honest with you. You're just probably not. So if you're interested in learning more about PWCC and selling your cards on there, the one thing I would request and ask you is consider using the promo code Cajun, C-A-J-U-N, all capital letters when you submit cards, or if you're moving a card from your vault into the weekly, go ahead and assign the promo code Cajun before you move it over. I get a little chunk of PWCC's money. You support the channel, and you can tell PWCC, indirectly, hey, I decided to do this because Cajun does it, and why would he throw money away? Why would he sell on the platform that doesn't yield great results, especially at the volume that you guys have seen that I've sold? I've sold a pretty large number of cards on PWCC. Sorry, I'm not gonna be able to share that with you guys, but I've sold 7 figures worth of cards on PWCC weekly and Premier combined over the years, right? That's not like this year or last year or whatever, but over the years. In fact, most of the selling that I do is actually privately to buyers who buy in bulk. But I've sold a lot on PWCC weekly and Premier because I trust them. So I just wanted to share that with you, give you some examples of, if there's anybody out there saying, yeah, you can put it on PWCC, it doesn't get enough eyeballs. Well, it does. Now, here's the deal. I've always told you the truth. If I had and I learned this the hard way, okay, and I'll just tell you that. If I have a Game of Thrones autograph card from, Khaleesi, PWCC is not the place to sell that card. I'll be honest with you. If I had you know, a very obscure, like let's say a gold serial number to 10 Brooke Lopez rookie card, I probably wouldn't sell it on PWCC, guys. I would probably try to sell that fixed price on eBay. That's what I would do, and be patient with it. But if you're looking to get your money back and get it back quick, PWCC is the way to go. The other thing that's changed on PWCC Weekly, the one complaint that I had, and I talked to my guys, I was like, man, look, y'all got to fix this. It used to be where, and I don't know if everybody knows this, you would sell your cards on, you know, let's say they close on a Sunday. Let's say you start getting paid Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? You didn't get your money for like 7 to 10 days. And so I was like, damn, I sold a lot of money worth of cards. I didn't get my money. Now you get your money. When the buyer pays PWCC pays you. So I'm ding, 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 ding. I'm getting emails all day. Money's been added to your account. Money's been added to your account. Money's been added to your account. So I'm getting paid when PWCC gets paid by these buyers. What about non-paying bidders? What happens if somebody doesn't pay? Well, normally on eBay, you're like, I gotta go do all this shit again, relist it, do all that stuff. With PWCC, you get an email and it says, and this happens. I will say this, out of the thousands of cards I've sold, I bet you 1%, man, maybe I'm just lucky, but I would say 1 to 2% don't get paid. And I get an email from PWCC after the expiration of a certain amount of time. They used to also give buyers like 2 weeks to pay or something crazy, or like 10 days to pay. Now I think it's like 48 to 72 hours or something like that. So now I get an email from PWCC, your item didn't get paid for, boom, it automatically goes into the next full weekly auction. If I wanted to change that or undo that, I reach out to them and I change it. And I'm saying, you know what, never mind, I don't want to sell it. Take it out, you know, but otherwise it'll automatically roll back in. So once you've listed a card in a weekly auction, if it doesn't get paid, it's going right back into the next weekly auction, so you can get your money back. That's it, guys. That's all I had to share for you today. I just want to give you guys some more of my experience selling cards on the PWCC marketplace. If you've got any questions, check out my other videos on how to submit cards to PWCC Weekly to sell it. You can submit comic books, you can submit autographed baseballs, you can submit, you know, artifacts, weird crap. You can submit raw cards. I didn't even mention that. You can sell raw cards in the PWCC Weekly and get them certified with NBA at not out of your pocket, right? It comes out of the sale proceeds, so you don't have to pay anything up front. The vault is free. Creating a vault is free. If a card's worth more than $50, free storage for life. Period, right? Don't send a bunch of chintzy $10 cards or like 900 raw cards that you just want to keep in your vault. That's dumb. You're going to pay for that. That's not a good idea. That's not what these vaults are for. If you're going to sell those raw cards, you know, you want to make sure they're $15, $20 cards. Don't send them a $2 card to sell in the PWCC Weekly. You're not going to make any money. It's not going to work. If you wouldn't list a card individually on eBay, you're not going to want to list it individually on PWCC Weekly, right? If it's a little chintzy, raw, $3 card, it doesn't make any sense. Don't send them a De'Aaron Fox Hoops base raw 2017 rookie card to sell. That's not a good idea. This is not the way to do that. You need to group 12 of those together and sell it on eBay is a lot. But that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you have any questions about this, remember the promo code Cajun, C-A-J-U-N, all capital letters. It can't get any easier. It's really the only way I get compensated for doing any of this content creation. Again, I'm a little uncomfortable. I've always been a little bit uncomfortable. But I try to tell the truth and be as transparent as possible. This is sort of how I get compensated for spending all of the time that I do creating content right now. It's the only way I get compensated pretty much. So I'm still exploring other options out there so I can keep doing this because I think you guys have come to know that I am the most consistent, certainly most consistent basketball content creator in the hobby. So if anybody else has words with me on that, we could just throw hands. We can fight. No, I'm just kidding. So thank you guys for watching as always. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Always feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Cajun_cardboard, if you got any questions about listing stuff on PWCC. Appreciate it. Peace.